the content moderation law is the Digital Service Act, and this is one of these sort of regulatory packages that the European put in place to regulate the technology sector. This one became live in August 2023. And this probe was launched close to 2 years ago in December 2023. And really, what the European Commission was looking at was sort of in the build up to some European parliamentary elections, whether there was disinformation that was being spread across Twitter, now X. What this fine actually assessed, 120 million euros, the penalty actually relates to not necessarily the disinformation. That part of the probe is still pending, but the regulators made three findings. One was sort of the design of X, basically that any user can pay for a blue check mark now, and calling that verified. They said that's deceptive because it's not really verification when anybody can pay for it. The other two findings related to one, there was no ads repository on X. That's mandatory to allow researchers to really see what kind of ads are going across the network. And the third finding related to just not giving adequate access to third-party researchers on X. So this is a fairly significant penalty against X based on sort of the revenue that the platform makes. But the findings really didn't quite go to the heart of that sort of potential disinformation campaign, and that is potentially still waiting in the wings.
Yeah, I mean, we know the European Union, when we think about European regulators, they're widely perceived as really stringent, fierce. When we think about their crackdown on data protection and the like, what do you see as the merit to this? You know, what's your takeaway here in this situation in particular?
So I think, and that's definitely true. I think the European Union has been very aggressive against the technology sector, and most of those companies are American companies. I think what we have seen is a slowdown in the cadence of enforcement once President Trump won the election in 2024, and certainly once he took office. Again, this was a probe that was launched before he was elected president. So I think what we can look at is this was a high fine, but there was rumors that they may actually try to assess a penalty based on the holdings Elon Musk had elsewhere. So his Tesla holdings, his SpaceX holdings. Ultimately, they did only sort of cabin themselves to looking at X's revenue. So I think in that way, we can see that maybe, they are looking to sort of flex the laws and show that they have the capability to prosecute where they think there are breaches. But I do think we have seen a sort of dampening, at least in terms of the rhetoric coming out of the European Union with respect to regulating technology companies.